Today's featured guitar tone is going to be from the late 60s, early 70s. You may recognize the band or guitar player when I play the couple of riffs. And that's the intent for this video. So it's a clean tone. It's a very psychedelic, lush tone. Great for all types of music, preferably from the 70s, early 80s, but actually, I'm sorry, late 60s, early 70s. All right, let's check it out and see what we have here. Alright, so let's go ahead. Again, I'm using the Boss eBand JS-10. And again, look at the knob positioning as you would a clock. Any questions, comments, or feedback, leave them below. And if you would do me a favor and click subscribe, hit that notification bell for more tones coming your way, as well as more concert reviews and metal magazine reviews. Alright, let's get started. As you can see, real fast, I'm using the Boss eBand JS-10. And if you do not have my parameters per se, just look at the knob positioning as you would a clock. For this tone, all of these tones are already mapped out. You're just going to copy them into your rig setup, and you're good to go. So these tones are already ready made, but I label these tone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that you have the luxury of naming them however you like. If it reminds you of a band, a song, an era, a mood, a genre, go ahead and name it however you like. So this way, the tone is mostly for you and by you. I'm just giving you the template, and then you can go ahead and tweak it to make it your own, and therefore you can call it, name it however you like to. All right, and real fast, see the level? I have 61 and 60. If you don't have those numbers, that would be 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock. All right, let's go ahead and begin. I'm using a clean twin Fender amp. Excuse the glare on my camera. And there's my gain and my level. All right, next parameter. So what you hear is what the finished product sounds like. I'm just going to get you there. So I think you can see my light, the ceiling fan. Sorry if you can see the ceiling fan up there. Hopefully I can lower the curtain after this video. All right, so there's my bass, my middle, and treble and present. Right, what's next? Okay, in this particular case, that's a default. It's bright off and T-comp at 0. Even though I have it on, if you do not have this, it will not affect your tone. So if you don't have this, just bypass it, don't ignore it, and you'll be fine. In this particular tone, I am using a limiter, not a compressor. So we're going to get into the limiter effects. So if you have a limiter in your rig setup, that's what I'm using for this tone. If you don't have a limiter, you can probably get away without using it. But for this tone, I'm using it. So now I'm going to show you the settings for the limiter. And there's my threshold, release, tone, and effect level. I love it. I love this tone. Again, all my tones are free. Go ahead and tweak them. You want to add this take some of this off, add some of this in, go for it. Right, for this particular tone, I have no overdrive distortions. Those are all my overdrive and distortions. I'm not using any of it. Hence, on the bottom right, you see it's off. We're going to bypass it. The next menu, we're going to bypass it also because we're in the overdrive distortion menu. I'm not using it, so it's just going to be off, so ignore it. All right, for this tone, obviously I'm using a noise gate. I have it at 42. Generally, as a default, I have it right in the middle. So anywhere from like mid 40s to mid 50s, you're good to go on the noise gate. All right, what's next? For this particular tone, I do not have any EQ. So see the bottom right, it's off. I'm going to go through the screens, ignore it because this is all pertaining to the EQ and we're not using any. All right, so we're going to get into the next parameter. Alright, for this particular tone, I'm using a Univibe. If this tone reminds you of a certain band from the 60s, up until 1970, maybe you got it right on the money. So, I don't want to give it away, but if it reminds you of a certain band from the 60s, and they broke up in the 70s, this is a very good tone to emulate. For this tone, though, I'm using a Univibe. Those are all my modulations: tremolo, chorus, phaser, flanger, rotary, Univibe, and pan. I'm using a Univibe for this. And these are my settings on the Univibe effect pedal. So that's my rate and depth. Again, if you don't have those numbers, that would be what? 2 o'clock on the rate and 11 o'clock on depth. And that's the closest I can tell you how to get there. Now picture having a bass player playing with you and then a little bit of drums. And this would sound real lush, right? The next parameter, obviously, look, I have no delay. The bottom right says off, so we're going to skip delay. We have no delay. Let's bypass this. For this is the last parameter for this tone. We do have reverb. I chose room. You want to try hall, plate, or any other type of reverb setting, go for it. And again, make this tone your own. That's my reverb time, high cut, and effect level. And pretty much this is the tone. And there you have it. There is another guitar tone patch. I believe this is number 6. I believe tone number 6. Again, what I want to do with all of you is, if I tell you, oh, here's a tone patch from Leonard Skinner, and then you hear it, oh, it doesn't sound like Leonard Skinner, then now you're critiquing the tone patch, you're critiquing and you're questioning my tone abilities. But this way, if I say, here's a tone, you either like it or you don't, that's totally cool. And if it reminds you of something, someone, a band, a song, genre, then that's even better for you, because then you can say, oh yeah, I can use that tone for this. Or that sound tone reminds me of this. And so these tones are yours. Feel free to lock it in. So this tone is done. Lock it in and then go back into it, and you can change the reverb. You want to add delay. See, you can change the ambiance, add more reverb, add more of the Univibe, take some of the Univibe off, add more bass, more treble. However you want to tweak these tones, they're yours now. So call this tone however you want to call it, name it, and it's yours. All right. Thank you for joining me. If you have any questions, comments, or feedback, again, leave them below. It's good to be back with all of you. Stay tuned for more guitar tones, more Metal Magazine reviews, and more concert reviews coming up. All right, so I'll see you folks real soon, and thank you for joining me. All right, bye.